Hello, connoisseurs. Our very own Birn Nahsty is on a hot streak right now. Somebody
Woo.
pour some cold water on this guy. He's at 70% hit streak right now on his picks, NFL and college football. So he's going to give us some picks later on in the show. Make sure you stay tuned in for that. Bijan is going to give us a little bit of inside information on what's happening in the world of Major League Baseball. We know Yamamoto is going to be signing this week. He's going to give us some insight on that. But there's also another that we're going to need to be looking for here that has bursted onto the scene. I think you guys are going to want to know who that is and where he could possibly be going as well. We will be dissecting the transfer portal and have a very special college football segment ahead on this episode of Sports Caviar starting now. I noticed that Curb Your Enthusiasm was coming into its final season, and they were saying that Larry David is gonna be retiring, and it's a little bit of sad news for me, and any other the Curb or Seinfeld fans out there. Do you think he's the GOAT?
All things must come to an end. Whoop. Genius, absolute comedic genius. Was on the outs, found Seinfeld. They started writing together in between stand-up shows. I don't know, 25 years, 30 years ago. Seinfeld, just tone-setting program in its time, and then what I would argue is a better show, Curb Your Enthusiasm, on its 12th and final season. So, pretty good run from Larry David. Gotta love the mind of Larry David. Not afraid to touch any topic. Really fantastic mind and gonna be missed. I'll savor all of those DVDs because I own DVDs. I guess I could stream it, but it's not the same.
That guy is hilarious. He's up there on the goats for sure. When it comes to just the original comedy, he's the reason that Seinfeld is in existence. But I do love me some Seinfeld. But we're gonna miss Larry David. That Kurt was a good show. That's up there. Nobody
Yeah.
really talks about.
If you had to guess how old he is, Bern, how old do you think Larry David is?
Oh shoot! I'm gonna go with 68.
Close. Bijan?
74?
He's actually 76.
Ah,
So,
so close.
76.
he's definitely up there. He's retiring, but the funny thing about it is he's at the perfect age to run for president. So I feel like he might
Yeah, I was gonna say
do
he's right
that.
there. He could be
Please vote.
he
Send
could
your
ea-
ballots. Please.
easily a
I think,
VP candidate.
yeah, he would be a great president. So a couple of fun facts. I don't know which one's better between Curb and Seinfeld. It is a very close race between those two shows. I guess Seinfeld's better. I don't know. That's a hard one.
It's all from his mind. I love that Seinfeld is basically just him and four different characters, and then he just took it to Curb where he could just be himself. I love the cast on both. I mean, you got
Yeah.
Jerry, you got George, you got Kramer, Elaine, and then I love Jeff Garland, Cheryl Hines. JB Smoove is fantastic in Curb.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
He's worth $400 million, so I think he probably can retire and last for at least the next 25 years till he turns 100
That's
on
a
that.
nice Prius. He can get himself a nice Prius for that.
Right? Yeah.
And but did you guys know that his major in college was history?
Oh, it does not surprise me.
Isn't that funny?
Really? History?
Yeah.
I feel like a comedian just that wouldn't be the major.
It's just like the most random if you talk to him,
Right?
"Yeah, I'm a historian."
I feel like maybe he'd be like a poli sci,
There you go.
like an athlete.
And as you guys can see here, I'm in the Christmas spirit. My Ric Flair Christmas
Woo!
coming tee. So it got me thinking. Last week, obviously, we were going for the 3 best Christmas movies, and I would like to know what's your top 3 Christmas songs of all time? I'll start with Burn, Mr. Nasty.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is always gonna be up there,
Mm.
right? Like,
Okay.
that's like the jingle. So, I just went to the Pentatonics concert here locally.
Yeah.
"Mary Did You Know" from
Okay.
Pentatonics is up there as one of the greatest songs of all time.
Good one.
But I love "Hallelujah." and I love the Mariah Carey with I mean, come on.
All I want
Because
for
she,
Christmas.
because I feel like she's speaking to me when she says all she wants for Christmas is me.
He
And
just
I and
doesn't
I
know it
just
yet.
think,
Yeah.
and I don't know. I think it's about me, which is awesome to have a song written about you. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think those are really my favorites. But
Okay, those are the ones that if we had a reverse peephole in your apartment, we would see you dancing to those songs.
oh yeah, I'd be dressed to like the Christmas tea.
Yeah.
Have my lights wrapped around me. Oh,
It it's what
it's
you were
as hot
doing
as it's
before
as
the
hot as it
podcast,
gets.
right?
It's as hot as
Yeah.
it gets. I can promise you that.
Burn is the gift.
Listeners,
But
dinosaurs, I'm telling you, you guys are missing out.
but John, what about you?
Joy to the world. I love it. I love how many different ways you can do it. You can jazz it up. You can slow it down. The season's about joy. Right now, I'm digging Joy to the World by Chris Tomlin. Unspeakable Joy. Check that out. I think it's Ultimate Christmas, but great one. And then again, shockingly, Birn and I are aligned for number 2. It is Mary, Did You Know? That Your
Really?
Baby Boy.
It's a great
Beautiful
Wow.
song.
It
You
is
think about
some stuff.
Whoa.
just Mary and what she was thinking and that transition. So they sang that, I should say my youngest sang that at their Christmas pageant. We came home from the concert. It's a great night, kick off the holidays, and I'm laying in bed with him. And he starts singing that song. I said, you like, he's just one of my
Love
favorite
him.
songs, Dad. So we sang Married Together. It's a memory that I'll have. The tree was on. It was pretty special. So really great song, that really great moment. And then third for me is, it's a little obscure, but it goes back to, again, Jesus being the focus for the season. But when I think about what Joseph and Mary went through, there's a great song called Baby Boy by Brandon Heath. It walks through Joseph and Mary. So Joseph came into the picture, so not only Mary, and what they were going with and the sacrifices they made. Baby Boy by Brandon Heath. Check it
Wow.
out. Came out in
I've never heard that
2021.
one.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
off the We Need a Manual album. I think it's 5 songs total.
So I was really curious to see if we all at least had one of the same favorite songs. I never would have thought it would have been "Mary Did You Know" from you guys at all. That's crazy.
Great too.
It's a good song though, yeah. Mine would be the Christmas songs, chestnuts roasting on an open
Nope.
Jack Frost snipping at
Snipping
your
at your
nose.
nose. The good one.
It's a good song, but it's not top 3.
Oh, it just gets me, like, in the
Yeah.
Christmas spirit hearing that
It's a
song.
warm inside. Yeah.
And then "Rocking Around the Christmas Tree," I had to go with that one. I just feel like as soon as I hear the beginning, the intro to that song, it just makes me wanna dance. And then "Oh Holy Night" would be my Christian themed song.
Like
The
deep.
stars are brightly shining.
I will.
I think
I
we
can
cut
promise
the
you. I can
I think
promise you that
we
I will
broke the
never.
sound barrier there.
I will never sing the songs.
I think we
Sing
just
it,
woke up my new
Bird.
puppy.
Come on.
My siblings would tell me that because I'd be like, "Hey, you guys know this song?" And I'd start singing. They'd be like, "We have no idea what you're singing." I'd be like, "You guys are idiots. I can hit the notes." And they're like, "No, you're tone deaf. Tone deaf.
Yeah. Well, I
Tone
mean,
deaf probably
you know,
works too." But
I've
yeah,
never heard you sing, so you would have to
yeah.
pleasure us.
I don't like to embarrass myself, but all right.
Go for it, Burn. Give us
Sing
some
sing
Mary.
Silent Night. Silent Night would be
I'm
a
gonna
good
do
one.
"Mary Did I Know." I'm just gonna say that.
Oh,
I'm gonna
okay.
do the chorus, and then I'm gonna walk off. I'll probably like leave. I might go to black right here.
Oh,
Turn
don't
my
worry.
camera off.
Nobody's watching anyway.
Yeah, it's. We need more listeners, or watchers here. Come on, Mary, did you know that your baby boy? And that's. I don't want to go farther. I
Oh,
already go.
wow.
I was digging
Dude,
it.
we gotta get a karaoke night going here.
Yes,
That'll
that's
be
happening.
Sports
Look, I'll
Caviar
tell you.
karaoke.
Speaking of karaoke, let's go ahead. What's your go-to song on karaoke?
Mine is The Killers, Mr. Brightside.
Really? That's Michigan.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
I didn't know that.
It
That
is.
we
That is
sang we
correct.
sang that 3 times. It was awesome because they literally start it and then they stop and the whole stadium sings it.
Oh, that is
Is
awesome.
because JJ,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was like probably I'll send you the video. I think I have it.
I'm gonna have to
Dijon,
go to a Michigan game now.
you're gonna have to. We're all going.
Any George Strait song gets the party going, especially
Go
here
to
in
the
Charlotte.
countryside. Okay.
You can get that going. Charlotte always appreciates that. Or I can go any Elton John, that as well.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Whole
Whoa.
library there. Yeah.
I feel like that's a
Yeah.
go-to artist for white Americans, right?
I
Elton
once
John.
Yeah.
did Thriller. I once did Thriller and brought
I
down the
can't.
house at a place called Saeed's. There's a video that I'll dig up at one point.
I will tell you that the one that I can rock, no matter when, whether I'm sober, had some drinks, it doesn't matter. I will kill Nice Baby.
But yeah, that does not surprise
Yeah.
me. From
I know word for
question.
word. I could do it right now. I won't. I don't think our listeners are ready for that. But I will say that I was on a cruise one time, and my family, as I said, they don't think I can sing. They made me. They did the whole request at a piano bar, and they got me to sing Michael Bublé. What's that one? His one like big song. I can't think of it now.
He's got a pretty decent amount of special, but
Yeah, but he
yeah, I
got
don't.
me, and I sucked. And people were like ready, like they people were like leaving. They're like, I got 2 high fives. We're like, "Did we try?"
Yeah.
But we'd like
there,
to enjoy
buddy.
our trip.
That's embarrassing. So yeah, we are gonna talk about some sports here, guys. I figure we might as well start out with what's happening because tomorrow actually is National Signing Day for college football. So we'll look at college football here first. There's a big problem right now, and I don't know if we can maybe put our minds together and try to figure out a solution because the timing of this whole thing is weird because the season isn't over yet, right?
Yeah.
Like there's still practice and there's still bowl games
Practice?
and there's still the playoffs. Like until the playoffs are over is when all of this stuff should be happening, right? Free
Agreed.
agency, you might as well call it. So the big one to me that stood out was Malik Murphy from Texas is transferring. And now we're talking about a team that's in the actual playoff, right? There's all kinds of movement going on right now with every team in the world has all kinds of players just going in and out of their program. It's ridiculous. But this one, I thought was a little bit interesting because they have a chance to win a national title. And he was part of it. Like he was literally part of the reason why they made it there. And then he just says, "Okay, the writing's on the wall. I'm not gonna start next year. I don't care about a national title. The money's talking. I'm out of here." So, Burn, what say you on a solution to what is happening, the timing of this whole thing?
Yeah, I think that's the frustrating thing. And look, nothing against the players. They have every right to do it. They have the time frame is open, the window's open. Do your thing. Go find what you're looking for, if it's the money or if it's, playing time or whatnot. But what I don't like is the fact that we have signing day tomorrow and that's high school. So it's all the high school players. We're Let's make a big deal of the recruiting process of that. And we're not because it blends with all of these. Like we probably already have 600 high school or college players that are now loose into the portal, and it's just they're different windows. There's got to be a way to have different windows. I would say the portal for the college players, for current college athletes, needs to be after bowl games. Like it can be after their specific bowl game. That maybe we can do that, but I just don't like the fact that we've got a lot of teams that are losing a lot of players that are not going to play in the bowl games. They're not going to make the bowl games relevant. And Florida State is one of them, obviously, but
Yeah.
it's outside of the college playoff teams, minus Malik Murphy. Everybody is staying. Malik Murphy is a rare breed because he's the backup quarterback. He knows he's not going to be the starting next year, whether he stays or not. You either got Ewers is going to stay or Arch is taking over. He's like, screwed. I'm just going to go find my team. Let me go get into
Yeah.
the portal now
Isn't that
because
crazy?
the team, everybody's moving. Huh? Bijan, like the
Yeah.
quarterbacks are taking spots. And if he wants a good spot, he's got to go now. He has the
Musical
choice.
chairs is happening. The music has started and it's going to stop on January 2nd. And this is a timing issue, and this is something that could easily be rectified. So right now the portal's open from December 4th, which is an amazing day. It's my better half's birthday. Happy birthday. All the way through January 2nd, which doesn't make any sense at all. We have another signing day in the third Wednesday in February. What we should do is just move it
January
from
to February.
January 8th to
Yep.
February. Just move it a
Yep.
month. Lift and shift. Lift.
High school, college, high school.
We
Move
just
on.
solved it. We just solved it. Malik Murphy, I don't blame him. He's a man without a country. Very talented. Just not going to play. So I understand that. However, the timing is brutal. He technically could play in their semifinal game on the 1st, but what do you go from there? Leave after you win that?
Yeah.
It is an incredibly
It's weird.
unique situation. We got to get it right.
Like,
and
and
we
it
got to
might
get it
come
right for
back
these
to
schools.
haunt them.
The thing that I do like about it,
Um,
it's not a great byproduct of it, but the thing that I have enjoyed about it in these early bowl games is there are a lot of guys that have had to step up. Third string quarterbacks, second string linemen. Is that what we want to see necessarily from a product? No, but when you talk about the collegiate experience, these guys have been ready. You look at the comeback that Western Kentucky had in Charlotte on Monday afternoon. No one was there. Don't worry if you missed it. Great comeback down 28-0. They had a third string freshman quarterback lead them back down 28-0 to win that ball game in overtime. Phenomenal. So that guy never sees the field if the starting quarterback sits out. Is that the way we want it to happen? It's not, but that's the one bright spot. We have to get it right. I don't want this to continue. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I think that your proposal makes sense, but at the same time, what about not to pour salt on the wound, but what about a team like Florida who's not bowl eligible, right? So at the end of November, your season's over. You would have to wait all the way until January to start making decisions on what you're going to do. That's too much time, right? There's all the whole month of December. You technically should be trying to recalibrate your team for the spring.
Yeah, that's the other end of it. I see that perspective.
Uh,
Our bowl game is tomorrow when DJ Lagaway signs. That's the trophy that we want.
But
That's what we need. But to your
why?
perspective,
Yeah.
that is stressful.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't know why, but we're not. Are we rewarding teams that didn't make a bowl game? That's what you're saying, Hob. Is that hey, look, Florida? Yeah, and no offense, DeJohn. Obviously, they didn't make a bowl. That sucks. Florida State's done it before. Has nothing to do with that. But at the end of the day, it's like, are we really rewarding a team that didn't make a bowl game? Oh, hey, look, you've got plenty of time
yeah.
on your hands, so let's open it up, and you guys can go get whoever you want because we want you guys. You have a busy season. You still have high school. We have the early signings. It's middle of December, towards the end of December. So
Yeah.
what's another couple weeks before transfer portal opens for
So
everybody?
they did it in December for a reason, right? All the schools that are the coaching changes happen very instantly, right?
Yeah.
Like almost as soon as the final snap of November 30th occurs, Jimbo Fisher's fired. Everybody's moving jobs and
Yeah.
it's okay. Who's going to be my quarterback? It. I don't know if they'll do anything. I think the NCAA is just sitting back and just wants this whole NIL transfer portal thing to just explode. What is the NCAA's interest in this? Are they doing anything to try to make it better? Or do you think that they're like, hey, you guys wanted this. Now you're going to see what's going to happen.
Someone's got to
Yeah,
step up.
yeah.
We don't need a committee. We need a commissioner. So we've got to figure this out. Lift and shift. Birn is available. I vouch for him. He's got many expertises. Leading the NCAA would be one of them. This is the man you want. Birn for NCAA president.
Look, I'm not asking for a lot here, but I feel like I could make this real easy. I could fix this real quick. We could put some really basic guidelines in place that would alleviate all of this gray area. And there's certain teams that had not been left out of the college football playoffs, and there are certain biases that would have been removed. So yeah, if you guys are looking to vote and looking for an opening, I am not
Birn.
against putting my name in the hat. And
You're
let's
putting your name officially in the hat.
Let's
I
do it. Let's
am.
get a hype.
I
Let's
am.
get a hype video.
Well,
Let's get a hype video
Birn.
started.
Birn for committee chair 2024 today. Let's go.
That is mark the tape, guys. We got to get a campaign started here.
If I'm getting
There's-
70% and above right on pickems, I can do a lot better than the current commissioner.
I
We've
agree.
we've accomplished a lot already. So Larry David for
Yeah.
president, Birn for NCAA commissioner. Less than
Yeah.
25 minutes, we've already changed the world. There we go.
I like it.
A simple
Um,
thank you is all we need, guys. We don't need much.
Speaking of changing the world, Draymond Green's having all kinds of issues on the court here. Golden State's in disarray. Let's put your GM cap on. And what would you do with Draymond Green if you were the GM of the Golden State Warriors?
If I'm the GM, I would be in self-loathing right now because we just signed him to a 4-year, 100 million. So probably a lot of crying at night, holding myself, knowing that we're stuck with him. The really tough part is the 4th year is a player option. There's no way he's not going to take the 27 million. Where who's going to want him? Look at these. So since in the last year, this is the last calendar year. We're coming at the end of 2023. It's been a great year. 2024 coming on deck. This looks like a troubled child's kindergarten report card. Inappropriate language, fighting, striking, kicking, kneeing. These are the fouls. Unsportsmanlike conduct. How many technicals do you think that Draymond Green had in the calendar year of 2023?
15.
30? I don't know. I don't even
Oh,
know.
Birn. Closest to the pin. Nice guess. Birn again. 16.
Wait,
16 technicals in a calendar year. How many did Mark Price have in his career? One by accident? They just
I was
teed
gonna
up some
say,
guy?
at 16, I bet you and I don't know the stat, but I bet you he is plus 10 from the
Yeah.
nearest person from second place.
I would say it's between 8 and 10. I think you're spot on there. This is, and look, if he needs help, I want to get it to him. I don't want to gloss over that he may be going through some things. Again, I don't want to make light of that, but as a GM, you're stuck with him. Who is going to take that contract? Who is going to take on that problem? I want the best for Draymond long term after the basketball court, but he's not helping. In fact, drastically hurting the Warriors and holding them back from what they could do, which their hands are tied with age and some other not great contracts. So this is a franchise that really risked a lot. They did get some titles, I think 2 or 3. That's nice to have, but I think it's going to be a long time with this salary. Thank you. It's 4. This salary structure in this roster, it's going to be a long time till we see another one.
if you were a
Yeah.
GM.
Yeah, no. If I'm a GM, unfortunately, just like Bajan said, I don't think he's not tradable to a point where you're going to get what you think what normal day, like prime time Draymond is worth. You're not going to get anything in return. A second round pick,
Yeah.
and you're going to have to throw in some
Oh, second round.
pretty
pick,
good
that's
prospect.
nothing.
Yeah, you're not going to get anything. You need to find him help. I really do pray for him. Like that dude, like
Yeah.
talent is there, and he brings that Bill Lamb beer.
Yeah.
Because I remember the Pistons, that type of energy,
He
but it's
does.
a different type of game. And this guy, he has not learned from his mistakes one after another. He continues to say after every time, I didn't mean to do it. I didn't do this. They're like, come on, man. You choked out Rudy Gobert. Yes, he was going after your player, but you could have let go. Like you remove him from the area and then let go. He chose to continue to yank. And then he literally turned around and found Joki's face. He's like, okay, yep, that's it. And to sit there and say, I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry, but I didn't mean to. It's the repeat offender. He needs anger management classes, something. But if I'm the GM, you can't trade him. Like Bajan said, that contract is, you got no chance. 25 plus million for 4 years. Yeah, you're handcuffed. So
I don't know.
I think
It's
you could, but you'd
probably
have
yeah.
to do a couple of young guys and a couple of draft picks and say, okay, we'll take on the headache and see if we can, I don't know, fix them or just not play them and eat it. But no, it's tough, man. That's a tough GM call, but you got to do something because Golden State's not looking good, and that's becoming a sore that they can't handle.
Would you get
Yeah,
creative and go cross sport? Maybe MMA? What if you sell his rights to the MMA? You could get half of the 50 cents on the dollar. Or
Dude,
so.
he would be
He would
really
crush.
good.
Who wouldn't see that? It's Rocky 3. Get Thunder Lips. We'll get Draymond Green in there. This is what you got to think outside the box with a contract like that.
yeah, I think that you could find a trade partner. I do think you would probably have to eat a little bit of the salary, but I don't think that he's so far gone that there wouldn't be a team that would take him to try to spark whatever it is that they have going on their side. Obviously, you gotta get him back on the court, you gotta get him through a stretch of games where it looks like maybe he's turned the corner and then you could trade him, right? Like, it's not if John Morant once John Morant comes back, it's not like there wouldn't be teams that wouldn't trade for John Morant. I know John Morant's way better and younger, so that's a different story, but it's like the same situation from the standpoint that he hasn't learned his lesson on how to behave either. So that's something for us to watch here for the Golden State Warriors. Now, let's move over to football here for a quick second. There's a division that I wanted to talk about. So the AFC South has really tightened up here.
Hmm.
And I don't mean the Tennessee Titans because they're actually eliminated from contention here. We're not going to be saying we'll love it anymore for the rest of the season.
Spoiler though, could play spoiler.
But everybody, yeah,
That's
they could play
true.
spoiler, yeah. There's 3 teams sitting at 8 and 6. The Jaguars, they did what we said they were going to do, and they just didn't show up. That was a Sunday night game. Burn, since the Jags are your 7th favorite team, who do you think's gonna win the AFC South? Are the Jags gonna be able to finish this thing off or what?
Look, I don't shy away from my preseason picks, and so the Jags will still win this division. It's a little
Prevail.
tighter than I was expecting. It looks like CJ Stroud is going to be out again this week. I
Oh,
think that's going to cost them a loss. The Colts, with again a backup quarterback, I just think as Trevor continues to be healthier, that we will continue to be better, and the Jags are going to win this division. I don't like it. I'm very disappointed with how close this has been, but I'm definitely not going to say that they don't have the inside track. Schedule doesn't line up. Still a little concerned. Buccaneers, your Bucks this weekend.
Oh, baby.
It's technically a home game. It's only a couple hours south, and then it's home against the Panthers, and then it's on the road against the Titans. So I think Jags going 3-0 gets in the division and all is well. So yeah, we're good.
Bijan?
But John, please don't you do this.
if CJ Stroud was healthy, I would be able to stick to my midseason prediction of the Texans. No one could have foresought that. We want the best for him. If he's healthy, the Texans win this division. However, he's not. Texans are going to lose to the Browns this week. It's going to be an ugly win against the Titans. The Colts, and then will eliminate themselves in week 18. Jags, to your point, Burn, we are lying. What a cupcake schedule. You got the Yuccaneers are the best team you're going to play in the last 3 weeks of the season. You got the god-awful
First place.
Panthers.
First place.
Short of Noah building an ark during the game, they can't win one. That weather was awful on Sunday. I just think the Falcons got it was just no one was there.
Arthur Smith should be fired.
They were selling tickets on StubHub for 45 cents. 45 cents. The fees
Wow.
were 7 times more than the ticket were. And still, I think they filled 5,000 seats. Panthers can't pound. Titans, even though I love Levis's arms baby oiled up, who doesn't want to see that? I think he's out.
Yeah, I
So-
think he's out. That was a nasty hit.
It wasn't pretty. So Jags by default, not really walking forward into it, but it's in front of them. They're a good enough team to beat these 3 teams. They're not a bad team by any sense. In fact, an inexplicable first half against the Ravens. It's the most unique. They should have been winning that game 24-7 at
Yeah.
half at least. So really inexplicable, but they're good enough to get through these 3 games as Jags.
They've lost 3 in a row, the Jags.
That's why
Yeah.
they'll win 3 in a row.
Trevor was
Um,
hurting.
Here's my thing. I think this game against Tampa is massive because the game's in Tampa, not that it really matters, but you got 2 fair weather fan bases.
Yeah.
So there's probably gonna be more Tampa fans at this particular game. I think that it will be a home field advantage for Tampa. Now, what in the world will Mayfield look like on Sunday? God only knows because he looked incredible in Lambeau. He was only the
It's 2
second
different
quarterback.
ones.
Yeah, the second quarterback in Lambeau history to have a perfect passer rating. So if this is some sort of breakout party for Mayfield, then that could be a good sign. You got Lawrence dealing with concussions. He's dealing with all kinds of things now. So I actually think this is my thing. I think that if the Jags lose 4 in a row, they're spiraling right now. If they lose 4 in a row and they don't beat Tampa, I don't think they're gonna win the division. I think that Indy is gonna win out, okay?
Minshew
So
magic.
so Indy has Atlanta, right? That's a coin flip game. Who knows what's gonna happen there? If Indy wins that game, then they have the Raiders, and then they have the Texans probably without Stroud. I think the Colts are gonna win out.
No, you don't want to play that Raiders team right now. You do not want to play that Raiders team right now. That
They
team has
did look
believe it.
good, yeah.
That's a team that's fired up from a coaching change. You don't want anything. That defense is playing much better, and the offense is being efficient.
Antonio Pierce, baby.
Getting it fired up. I don't want anything to
Uh,
do with the Raiders. I'm glad we got them early because I don't want anything to do with them right now.
but you can't put all your eggs in the Jags basket. If they lose this Sunday to Tampa, 4 in a row, I don't s they might even lose the next 2 for all we know. They're just heading in the complete wrong direction right now.
You're saying
I
wait
don't know
till
why
they're not going to lose to the Buccaneers.
I'm picking them to lose, so
That's
predicting them
that's a dumb move.
it's not a
I
dumb
have a
move.
70% plus pick rate.
That is true,
And
you are
so
the
connoisseurs do not listen to little Santa Yankee
So
there.
so I'm saying the Colts, we got Bajan and Birn are saying the Jags will right the ship
100%.
and
100%.
get things turned around. What's happening in the world of Major League Baseball. So Yamamoto's supposed to sign. You got to let us know, Bijan, because you're our insider. I'm hearing all kinds of different things. I'm hearing about him eating dinners with all kinds of different people. I
Oh,
want to know
wow.
where he's going to sign. I want to know when he's going to sign, and let me know if there's any other trade buzz swirling around the world of Major League Baseball. Right?
Dodgers can't get them all, and I don't believe they're going to get Yamamoto. Would the Dodgers love to have him? We would. But I will tell you this, he's headed to somewhere in New York. He wants to play on the biggest stage. And what I've heard, what I understand of the situation is he wants to be the big fish in the big pond. I don't think he wants to share the limelight with Otani. I think he wants
Mm,
his own signing party. The Mets are not as appealing when you talk about the biggest stage, the team that's won the most World Series champions. He cares about that legacy. Now, has it been a while since that happened? It has. But I think Yamamoto,
be
HD,
careful. Be careful.
light the hats. Get excited because he's coming home to your New York Yankees. Look how excited you are.
Yes.
Give me a Ric Flair.
Yes.
Woo! That's where Yamamoto will end up. It's going to be a Christmas gift for you. Have
No.
other news: Framber Valdez, Astros in a unique payroll situation. Their farm club is stripped. He could be traded. I think it's either the Reds, who have a wonderful top 10 farm club, or the Red Sox, who could help out with some bats. So I think it's Reds or Red Sox that may end up with Framber Valdez if the
Wow.
Astros continue to sell.
If I could say that opening day we're getting Yamamoto and Juan Soto to pair that with Judge, baby, come on. We're talking about another World Series probably this
Yes.
season.
Yeah, in 2050.
Dodgers will
You're
still be
just
paying Otani $68 million a year at that point, Burn. Don't worry.
you're just mad, Burn, that your Tigers are nowhere in the mix here with any of these
Well,
guys.
everybody, yeah, you guys are overpaying for like decent players. That's fun.
I don't know. Yamamoto's supposed to be lights out. So
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Did you go over to Asia and see him?
I have
The
actually. I
Yeah.
watched
continent
a
of
lot of his
Asia.
film.
Did you go to the continent of Asia?
Yeah, I don't know where. Somewhere in that area, he'd play.
You have a map up? Are you plotting it? Sure.
That's right here. I got it right here.
It'll be a
Every
4-month.
stop.
Okay,
Look, I'm just saying, we're literally basing this off of MLB intel. It said this guy is lights out. You have no idea. You guys haven't seen any film on the guy.
Yeah, I have.
And you think, okay, yeah, whatever ESPN has provided you.
Burn,
Let's-
clearly
I
I
don't watch
don't know
ESPN.
We're
what's
gonna
up.
spend. You're gonna give this guy $300 million on his life of a contract on I don't know what if. Have
I
fun.
love it. Give it to me, baby. Give
Give
me all the
baby.
juice. Give me the
The Braves, the
Yamamoto.
Tigers, they're homegrown. They find their players and they make wise trade. Don't worry about the taxes, and they just move on and they win World Series. When's the last time the
Well,
Yankees won a World Series?
but when was the last time the Tigers did? Or 09?
1984. 1984.
Thanks, Sparky.
Wow.
Yeah. Kirk Gibson, baby. Jack Morris. Put it
Jeez.
down.
Were you even born, Birn?
Yeah, I was 3.
Burn was
Yeah.
thriving.
It was my prime time.
Best year of Burn's life.
It's been downhill ever since.
The the highlight of the Tigers, fan base.
Baby
Um,
Burn.
so the Magic, I was dreading the
Mhm.
double game in Boston, and I was hoping that they could walk away with a split. It didn't even come close. They got worked game 1. Nobody showed up for
Waxed.
that one. Banchero had 20 points in the first quarter in game 2, but then everything else just fizzled after that. They're missing Wendell and Fultz right now still with their injuries. I feel like Fultz is always injured, by the way. And I think it's time to cut the cord with him.
Please.
All right, so this is what I need to know, and I'll start with you, Burn. Are the Magic they have the Heat, the Milwaukee Bucks, and the Pacers this week. Are they in danger of losing 5 in a row?
Yeah, no, yes. 100% they're in danger of that, but let's look at the overall season, right? What
Big
they've done
picture.
this year has been pretty good, right? Like, they've shown that they can compete. They've shown they can beat the big teams. Hell, they beat the Celtics, right? Early in
They
the
beat them
season
earlier.
and
Yeah,
dominated.
earlier. Yeah.
So, they're there. They're a good team. They are a really good team. I think they're a playoff team.
Yep.
But they're gonna have these ebbs and flows, and this is gonna this is unfortunately a downtime, and yeah, 3 straight could happen right here, which would
Yeah.
then bring it to 5 straight losses. I think they can beat Miami. Milwaukee will be tough. I think they can beat the Pacers, but health has been a concern all season,
Yeah.
and without yeah, I think it's time to cut bait on Fultz. I don't think we need him. I actually was a big fan of his. I was I thought that was a pretty big pickup. I think we could trade. I think we got a lot of trade bait that we need to
He's a free
upgrade.
agent after the end of
Yeah.
the
So I
season.
think we can utilize a lot of our like influx of guards to upgrade some other positions. We
Yeah.
need somebody that can space the floor and shoot the 3 other than Ingles. I although I'm starting to like
Jingle
that guy.
all the
I
way.
know, I'm telling you, I hated the signing, and now I'm starting to love the guy,
Jingle
but
the dingle.
jingle all the way right now, I'm telling you. I think we're endangering in that we're in that spot where we could lose 5 straight, which would suck. It's not like end of the world, like we're the Pistons.
Yeah. I
Sad.
have a
By the
question
way.
for you, Bijan. I do agree with you. Miami and Indy and the Pacers are the 2 games that I don't think the Magic are going to beat Milwaukee this week. That spread's probably going to be double digits. But my question to you, Bijan, there's some injuries occurring, but the Magic do have their 2 biggest stars right now with Franz Wagner and Banchero. So shouldn't that be enough to do what they need to do here for this week?
No, and that's okay. I think if you had said at the beginning of the year, the Magic had played almost just over a quarter of the season, so 25 games, just over a quarter. We play 82. You're 16-9. You have 16 wins. I believe the Magic have overachieved. I think the win total probably this would be 12 and a half, maybe at the best, maybe 13. They continue to play elite defense. They continue to share the basketball. This is an enjoyable team to watch. This is a team that I like to watch with my sons because they share the basketball, they play team basketball, and they play defense at an NBA level. And that is rare in this league. The Pacers do none of that. They pass the ball. They don't play defense. They shoot a ton of threes. Now, that can
Mm.
get you some wins, but come the playoffs, that can get you in trouble. We're going to beat the Heat. We got a chance against the Pacers, just like Burns said. Even if we're 18-11 at one point, it's not
Yeah.
terrible. In the Eastern Conference, the Magic will be just fine with that. If they can get into a 6-7 seed, I think the best is a 5. They can probably hope for long term. We look at the whole picture. That's a win for this year. And we are in great shape from a GM perspective. So I think the Magic can continue to improve.
Yeah, you can't get too far ahead of yourself talking about what seeds you're gonna be in the NBA playoffs because that's not all the way until April. So you
Right.
have to take it week by week, right? So you're coming off of 2 pretty bad losses. You have to make sure that these next 3 games, you have to find at least a couple wins there. No chance with Milwaukee. If we lose 5 in a row, I think that actually is going to be a big problem, right? this team is so young that I just get nervous about something like that occurring, and I don't want to see them turn right back into the tragic. I'm so used to them being the tragic that I'm trying, like, at all costs, please, guys, don't turn into that team. I'm hoping that you're actually good and you're not overachieving, so I think this week is huge for the Magic. It starts with the Heat, and especially because that's in the division. So if the Magic can win that game, that's gonna be massive for them. Moving on into Christmas here. I actually don't know how much time you guys are gonna spend with your families because there's all kinds of sports on. It's like a
Oh,
very weird,
glorious.
like, so you got NFL triple header, and there's a there's 7 premier NBA Christmas games too.
What a gift.
So it's okay. I'll be drinking some more coquito, which, by the way, if you guys need any, let me know.
Ship
Oh,
that
yeah.
down.
Yeah, please send me the virgin coquito.
Burn, you can come over. I'll put some rum in yours, but I'll be drinking some coquito and I'll be watching some of these games. So let's start with the NFL here, because this is very rare to have an NFL triple header on Christmas Day. You got the Giants, Philly, you got the Raiders, Kansas City, and then Baltimore, San Francisco. Would you say that all three favorites, San Francisco, Kansas City, and Philly, are all going to win their games, respectively?
No. But those first 2 are pretty much blocks, right?
Okay.
But that last game, that's gonna be a good game. That's one of the better games we've had all season. I mean,
Yeah.
if you think about it, at least on paper, and that's got a lot of implications on both sides, AFC and
Yes.
NFC. So part of me says I'm pulling for Baltimore to pull it out because that does open up the NFC as
It
far
does.
as the seeding goes. Because those kitties they're 10-4, baby. So don't hold your breath on them.
Nice
On the
Saturday night win. Nice Saturday night win.
You know,
Saturday,
I don't wanna talk
Saturday.
about I'm not here to talk about them because that wasn't part of the question, but I will tell you that I was that guy that was like, Broncos are coming in 6-1 the last 7.
Yeah.
Lions are 4-3. This is a scary game. Like, I just don't feel good about this. And then I started watching the game, I'm like,
Mm.
"We're back." It's but you can't get your
You look good.
but we're 10-4, right? With the Cowboys 10-4, Eagles 10-4, and then you got the San Fran's obviously cream of the crop right now. Ravens look like the cream of the crop on the AFCs. I would say all favorites are currently I'm leaning towards, but I think that night game could prove otherwise.
Sounds to me like you're taking Baltimore.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
take
know.
ball. I'm gonna take ball.
Oh, yeah. Alright,
I
you
There
heard
it is.
it. He's
I
on
am.
okay,
There
so
it is.
connoisseurs, he's
Don't
on a heater. He's on a hot streak right now.
hey, caviar connoisseurs, follow me to the promised land.
Tail him. Tail
Yeah,
burn.
he's got a 3-team parlay, okay? You got
Woo.
Philly money line, Kansas City money line, and Baltimore money line. That'll
Yeah,
get you some cheddar to make up for some of this money you spent on
That's
Christmas.
right.
yes. I'm here to
Now,
help you
John,
pay for your kids' toys. You're welcome.
but John, are you thinking all 3 favorites take it as well on the money line?
Against this. Oh, on the money line?
Yeah, money line.
Watch out for the Raiders will play the Chiefs tough. Money line, give me the Chiefs. Eagles will do enough to win, as they always seem to do. I am aligned with Burn. Ravens are a problem, and here's why. Shanahan does it. You don't face your mirror image. So Shanahan does well against things that he can control and variables. You cannot game plan for Lamar. He can blow up your defense. He can break tackles. Isaiah Likely is very special and athletic at that tight end position. They are going to miss Keaton Mitchell. I hate that for the young man.
Yeah, that
ACL
That is
on
a big
Sunday
loss.
night. Gus the Bus is more versatile than people give him credit for. Their receiving core, Zay Flowers, is a problem. That pass defense is a real problem. Give me the Ravens money line. Burn and I are aligned on that. Christmas night.
Ooh,
Get yourself a
wow.
gift. Kids are tucked in.
Wow.
Get some coquito, whatever burns.
Yeah,
Just
I don't
enjoy a Ravens victory. Have some crab cakes, maybe. If you do that, if you're in the Baltimore area, enjoy that.
if you had to guess, Bajan, what do you think Burn would have? What would be his drink of choice on Christmas Day?
On that hour at 8:15, Burn is a gentleman. Let
Yeah.
me just tell you that for the ladies that are out there. Burn
True
is a gentleman.
statement.
he paces himself throughout the day. He'll have a whole plan of attack, and that's what I love about Birn. He's very planful with his consumption. He will be probably sipping on a nice bourbon, I would say. Probably that. Just probably 1 cube of ice, just enjoying it, sipping it so responsibly, reflecting on the day and his blessings. That's where I put Birn at 8:15 on Christmas night.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
8:15 at
I
night.
think
Okay, I like it. I like this.
I think you guys failed to remember that Phillies lost 3 in a row. Did you guys know that?
How
What?
do you remember San Fran lost 3 in a row as well?
Yes.
Yeah, I know. But
I'm
Philly's
just making sure
on the
you're aware.
3-game losing streak right now. I think Kansas City is going to light up the Raiders.
Oh, I don't
So
think so. No.
I think the upset that to watch would be the G-Men and Philly and the rivalry in the NFC East. And then I actually think San Francisco is gonna win that game. So that would be my parlay.
It's
This
always
is
good to lose a parlay.
there's some sadness in the world of college basketball. Eric Montrose passed away. He was 52 years old. He had a battle with cancer. I remember Eric Montrose growing up. North Carolina, I wasn't a North Carolina fan. I actually didn't like how dominant they were, but he was amazing. The
Yeah.
big fella, just feed him down low. I'm sure Carolina Nation is mourning over that one.
Piston.
I'm
So I
That is
so
Oh,
correct.
yeah, that's right.
yeah. No, I look, that guy, I hate him at North Carolina being not a fan of that team, but that you gotta respect that kid. He was dominant in the
Yeah.
paints. Yeah, and loved him when we had him for the Pistons. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a
works well.
monstrosity that he's gone.
And it-
We're gonna
see,
miss him. It was a great era
I
for
would never have thought
really
of that.
really large white men like Greg Ostertag that will always
Yeah.
remember Mark Eaton. Really great
Well,
player, great guy,
yeah,
really
great
good
motion bro.
1990. We're
Yeah,
gonna miss him. Condolences out to his family in all seriousness.
for sure.
Great 1993 championship team with George Lentz and Dante Calabria on that team. Ran the table in that tournament. Lights out shooter. And then you could dump it into Montrose and then dump it out. Inside, outside basketball. It's
Yeah,
beautiful. Yeah.
I don't know any of those players.
Yeah. I knew
Sorry,
we were
guys.
but that's he's just gone too soon, man. 52's
Yeah.
John was 52.
Yeah,
So
that's Bajan's. That means like 2 years for Bajan.
Sorry. Life insurance premium just ended. Thanks, guys.
see, NBA Christmas is the normal thing to have. Thanksgiving has the NFL and then NBA Christmas Day. That's the way it's supposed to
That's
be.
right.
My Knicks are playing Giannis and Dame Dalla that at noon, which is perfect because you open the presents, you're eating some brunch,
Yeah.
you watch a little bit of my boy Brunson and Lillard have a little bit of a point guard showdown. Milwaukee's only favored by 3 points, and it's at the Garden. I think it's gonna be a good game, actually. So I'm looking forward to that one. Do you guys have any games that tickle the pickle for NBA Christmas Day?
Give me Mavs
Uh,
Suns while Bernie's drinking bourbon. I might be joining him with a bourbon and watching some Mavs Suns. Give me Luca and KD. Give me Kyrie. Give me Devin Booker. Not Bradley Beal as predicted. God bless him. Poor guy can't stay healthy. So he's taking a Christmas or a holiday vacation yet again. He'll be out through the holidays. Enjoy that contract, Bradley. But it's still enough star power to get you excited.
I'm torn because part of me says, all right, do you take a young versus old and go Boston Lakers?
Ooh.
Or do you go all the drama that's going on at Golden State against
The
top
defending
to
champs.
bottom, one of the greatest, like defending champs plus top to bottom, like just the talent they have with the Denver Nuggets. But I think I'm more excited to see Boston versus LA. Yeah, I want to see how that looks. I see those young
game.
boys take on LeBron
Great
and
game.
AD and their teams. I'm expecting Boston to pull that out on the road and potentially put LeBron and AD on notice that they're not that good.
Yeah, we talked about a nice win by the Knicks, by the way, last night in LA.
That was a big
Thank
win.
you.
Defense was
Thank
the
you.
difference there. I think that's where they can match up with Milwaukee, who really doesn't want to play defense. When Brunson is on, he was off last night, but their defense was enough from them. Julius Randle hit some big shots down the stretch. Other than explicable foul with a big lead on a 3-point shooter, which you can't do. They still got away with that with a nice win in LA. So good job. RJ Barrett's got to get
Yeah.
cleaner with that perimeter defense, but nice win for the Knicks last night.
The Knicks will make the playoffs, so I know that at least, and then we'll see if they can make a run. We've been clamoring for a Knicks playoff run. So
NBA needs it. The league is better when the Knicks are relevant.
So let's get to the Don't Be Nasty. This is Birn Nahsty segment, okay?
That's right. It
Because
should be. He's earned it.
he's our guru. He is our extraordinaire, and we rely on him to give us high quality intel. Okay, so I want you connoisseurs to pay attention. Get your notepads out. Get your pencil and paper ready to write.
And
We're gonna
yeah,
s-
just go ahead and
we're
get your deposits or your withdrawal statements ready, because once we get through this, you can take some money out, I'd imagine.
there's
That's all I got.
they got Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl, which I think is everybody going to that game? I heard it was sold out.
I'd go to Gasparilla. That's a good time. I don't care
Yeah,
about
no,
the
I
game.
Woo! I put in for tickets and unfortunately denied. So,
Got
yeah, it was
rejected. Yeah, this is a
just
hot commodity.
it was a hot ticket, so unfortunately could not get one and could not make it. I apologize.
Yeah, it's Georgia Tech battling the UCF Knights, -4.5. We'll start with our guru. Let us know what we should pick here on this part.
We've talked about the portal and talked about the challenges that teams go through in this time of the season, but at the end of the day, this is home field. UCF, nice little hour and 50-minute drive down. UCF, the Golden Knights take those 4.5 and throw them at Georgia Tech. And as long as they decide to take a knee and actually take a knee, I think that UCF Knights will triumph over the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets by 4.5.
It's a dig at the Miami.
That
Anybody a
wasn't
Miami fan?
that was not a dig. I was just
It's
explaining that
factual.
I think that if it comes to that, that they will take a knee.
Burn, we're aligned. And let me tell you why. So both teams are coming in 3 out of 5. Both teams have some impressive wins and some close losses. So this is a really good matchup by the poll committee. Georgia Tech beat UNC earlier this year, 46-42. Hung with their rival UGA, only lost 23-31, which was one of the tighter games that the Bulldogs played. UCF 45-3 over Oklahoma State Cowboys, who played in that Big 12 or at least appeared for the Big 12 championship game. Lost to Texas Tech by 1 point and only lost to Oklahoma by 2 points. So really good matchup. Burn hit it on the head. Transfer portal. The Matrix is just reared its ugly head. Georgia Tech going to lose 2 edge rushers and a starting quarterback to that on their defense. I like UCF's balance on offense a little bit more. I think the spread should be more 6.5. I would be uncomfortable with that number at 4.5. I like it. I really like it at 4. Narts. What's a nart? Like a narc? Knights.
I mean, look, you've
Knights.
screwed up way more.
Knights charge on. Lena, this one's for you.
Yeah, big shout out to our buddy Lenya, who's probably not listening. But I would say if UCF can wax Oklahoma State, who Texas waxed in the Big 12 title game, which apparently was so impressive, it catapulted them all the way to the playoffs in front of an undefeated Florida State team. Oklahoma State must be awesome, right? So if UCF can wax Oklahoma State, then they can definitely wax Georgia Tech. They're
Yeah.
almighty.
Yeah, follow the numbers.
Yeah, so
Logic.
UCF is gonna cover this game. Yeah, all the UCF fans traveling down for that game will be happy. Now, we'll move along to the SRS Distribution Las Vegas Bowl, which is another hot ticket this
Woo!
weekend. The Utah Utes against Northwestern, 4.5 GPA. They're plus 6.5. Who you got, Bijan?
Always important to look at line movements. This line opened at 9.5, right under 10, and has shifted to 6.5. Northwestern, you talk about resiliency. We know everything they went through in their program. They won 4 of 5 ball games. Utah, the Utes, going the other way, lost 2 of 3, and they have been eradicated by the transfer portal. Bryson Barnes, good for this young man, has announced that he's going to transfer, but he's going to stay and play the bowl game. Good for him. More players should do this. So he will be suited up for your Utes. However, and SRS is the fastest growing network of initial roofing and building supplies in the country. I prefer Lowe's. Before I make the pick, Lowe's knows. Start at Lowe's. But for the SRS Bowl game, my pick is the Northwestern Wild Kitties. Give me them plus 6.5. I love it at plus 7. I don't think they win outright, but they're going to make this game a close one. Give me Northwestern, please.
Yeah. I hate saying this, but I align with the Bijan. I just feel like Northwestern has had nothing to. They've done nothing but show that they can play. They've overachieved all season. Utah has not played well over the last 3, 4, 5 weeks. Yeah, I feel like 6.5 is a lot. I think Northwestern can cover that. Their defense is pretty stellar. So yeah, if they lose by 3, 4, 5, I'm fine. Connoisseurs, take it to the bank, baby.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that just yet because Whittingham is the better coach in this scenario. And I think
This
that
guy.
when it comes down to bowl preparation, you take the better coach 9 times out of 10. So I'm gonna go with Utah here. I'm gonna go with Utah to win by a touchdown or more. The Big Ten was atrocious this year, and
Tell that to the
Northwestern,
number 1 team in the country.
yeah, whether or not they should be the number 1 team remains to be seen. So Utah Utes are going to shock the world and take down the mighty Northwesterners.
Yeah.
I mean,
The time is not going to stop.
they're favored by 6.5 because they're gonna take down the world.
The lights
They're
won't
gonna
go out
shock
in
the
Vegas.
world. I don't even know if anybody's gonna watch that game.
I had to, process that before I was like, "Wait, no, that's not right."
Now, obviously, I was being sarcastic there, which, by the way, do you guys
Obvious.
think that sarcasm is actually the lowest form of wit? Have you ever heard that saying before?
I don't know if it's the lowest
Why would it
one.
be the lowest form of wit?
There's a lot of theories out there. I'll give you the comparisons. It's sarcasm is the lowest form of wit. They say that it is because it's meant to make a mockery over somebody else, is how some people take it. And then, or punning, saying jokes that are puns is another form of lowest form of wit. It's between those 2. Those are like what the streets have been saying for decades now. Do you guys agree with those?
No, I think sarcasm is something that is attractive.
Burn,
Bijan?
deal.
Yeah.
Burn it. I can agree. I mean, it's a low hanging fruit. I don't know that it's all comedic fruit. Pick the fruit, eat the fruit, use the fruit in the right season. That's what I would say.
So it's like really comparing these 2 types of statements. So if I said to you guys, "Man, I grilled chicken for 2 hours last night, and they still didn't tell me why they crossed the road." Okay? That would be a pun comedic vein. That could be the lowest form of wit, so a statement like that, right?
But I think that
Um,
particular one is pretty low. You are preparing
Yeah.
yourself. You're really getting into fatherhood. You're embracing it. That was fantastic.
That's a dad
And
jam.
if you're cooking chicken for 2 hours, there no need for a thermometer. Or is it jerky? What?
Yeah, where are we
you're not
going with this?
actually grilling the chicken, you're grilling the chicken.
But I feel
Well,
like to me, sarcasm, I'm attracted to sarcasm. Like I want somebody that can be able to use that
Ladies, note it.
in the right situations that I'm like, look, if you can't use sarcasm or you don't accept sarcasm, then that's not a type I want to be with.
You're not
there
You
is a
ain't you
second
ain't you
part
ain't feeling the burn.
there's a second part to the quote. It says
Oh,
sarcasm
why
is
didn't
the
you tell
lowest
me
form
that?
of wit, and it's the highest form of intelligence, is the second part of the quote, by the way.
So you
So
just
now,
decided you just threw out the bottom part, like, "Hey,
I love
hey,
all of
John, what do you
this.
guys think about this?"
it's actually interesting because they say that sarcasm is related to our ability to understand other people's mental state. So it's not a linguistic form. It's also related to social cognition. So,
I agree with that social cognition piece.
so there we
That's a
go.
lot. It's a lot of words, but I agree.
Going back to what we were talking about here on the don't be nasty segment.
Yes, probably my
Um,
70% success rate.
I don't know. This week you might be. I don't know. We'll have to see. So Thursday night, the Rams are coming. I don't know. I thought they went into the abyss, but they're favored on Thursday night, which I'm happy about because they're playing New Orleans. Rams minus 4.5. I want our guru to tell us who to pick on Thursday night football.
This is actually an easy one. The Los Angeles Rams at home, 4.5, lay the points. I'll be honest, I'm surprised. Like, I did not think that the Rams had any chance of getting to where they are. Stafford got hurt for a little bit, but he's back. He's healthy. Their running game is starting to come into fruition.
Mm-mm.
They still have the talent on the outside as far as receivers go. They've got a reliable tight end. Yeah, no, at home, lay the points. I think the Rams win by a touchdown. Yeah, give me the Rams, 4.5. Good to go. Move on to the next game.
Bijan, Bijan Nasty.
I'm not picking any NFC South team to win any football game for the rest of the year because it's a god awful division. I'm not going to give you any stats. The Saints are not a good team. I'll give you one. They've won 2 out of the last 5 games, and they beat the New York Football Giants and the Carolina Panthers. Those are their 2 wins in the last 5 games. To Burn's point, run to the ticket window before this becomes 6 and 6.5. Get this at 4 if you can, but to your point, I think this is a tutty win. Rams should have smoked the Commanders on Sunday. They got disinterested up 21-0. They will want to finish the job. McVay will emphasize that all week this week. They're going to blow out what's left of the New Orleans Saints.
I would love to say that the Rams are going to blow out the Saints, but I don't know what happens when teams play the NFC South. It's almost like they drop down to our level.
Oh,
But they
Like,
typically win.
I don't know if that's true. Ask the Green Bay Packers.
Lions,
The Rams are an interesting team. They're so average. They're the definition of average at 7-7. If the playoffs started today, they would be in the playoffs, but it's not like they're this juggernaut at home. Their differential at home is almost the same as it is on the road.
good point.
They're I don't know what it is about. I hope that they cover the spread and win the game. My confidence level is low though. I actually think that New Orleans and the Rams are very similar. I don't want to pick this. I think New Orleans will keep it within a field goal. I think they'll
Don't,
cover.
don't do
But
it.
I hope the Rams win. So, we'll have to see about this game, but I'll go
I
with
feel like
New
this is
Orleans.
gonna
I
be a
think
really bad week for Javi.
it's
Yeah.
gonna be a gross game.
Just
It's not gonna be
deepening the
it's
grave.
not gonna be as easy as you
I
guys
feel like
think.
this is him, like, realizing that he's so far back of getting to my level that he is just going against me every pick so he can possibly he's hoping for me to just have a over, which is what you've had, Bajan, in the past. I
Not
think he's
wrong.
wanting that. I think he's wanting Birn to have a Bajan so that he can rise from the crop, and it's not gonna happen.
Oh, because Kyle Whittingham isn't the better coach in the SRS Distribution Las Vegas Bowl game?
Are you kidding me? Northwestern's coach is the up and comer. He's gonna get offers everywhere for what he's done with Northwestern.
Oh oh, they've been so good this year.
No, they were so bad, and he brought him from the abyss. What we're doing with your record on the
We're gonna be tuned in for that matchup, and we're gonna be tuned in for Thursday night
I hope I'm
football.
watching it with you, sir. I wanna watch it with you.
I'll tell you a game that I will watch with you. The Jags traveling to Raymond James.
Oh,
Bucks are
Woo!
favored -1. I'm not surprised by that. The Bucks are the better team. I'm just gonna go ahead and get my pick out of the way. I think that Baker Money Mayfield is gonna ride that wave that he took from Lambeau Field. Mike Evans scores a touchdown every single game. You can just bet it on the if there's a way to just bet that he's gonna have a touchdown, I know there is. He's going to do it again. Chris Godwin had a monster game
Woo!
on
He
Sunday.
What
was
is
he's
I
just
Rashad White has come into his own here. We actually have a running game now.
That's right.
You better watch out for the Bucks, man. The fire the cannons all day long here. Tampa Bay -1. All right, who you got, Burn?
yeah, this is not a confident bet. I'm not gonna go against my Jags. I think they can win 3 straight. I think Trevor is slowly but surely getting healthier from that ankle issue. The fact that he was able to play last week and play the way he did, I think that they're gonna come out a little differently this week. I feel really good about it. I think Doug's got some good play calls coming in.
Yep.
I feel very confident that the Jags pull that victory out and then move one step closer to that AFC South.
Even with a concussed Trevor Lawrence?
Beat hard. Sunshine's going to play. This is not close. Jags passing offense is ninth. The Tampa Bay pass defense is 31st. There's only one team worse. Jags rushing game, 12th. Tampa Bay's run defense, 25th. The first half, as we talked about briefly, Jags should have won that game on Sunday night. They didn't. They will right that wrong. They know how important this is. This is the battle for the silver medal in the state of Florida to the Miami Dolphins. The silver medalists are the Jacksonville Jaguars. They win this game by at least 6 points.
Now, you guys have to stick to your pick even if Trevor Lawrence doesn't play.
I mean, give me beat hard.
Okay.
Yeah, CJ,
Doesn't matter.
I'm good. I'm good.
Do you guys know who the quarterback is for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
I'm not going to say his name.
Blaine Gabbert, Kyle Trask, I
Yeah.
don't know.
We have
But
Baker
Trask,
Mayfield. I don't why would you bet against Baker Mayfield? Are you guys crazy?
We've done it multiple times this year, and it's worked out just fine.
they're quite profitable.
Last
Do
game
you
on
remember?
the old docket, and we have the Dallas Cowgirls traveling to the Miami Dolphins. Miami is only -1.5 at home on this one. I want to start with Dijon mustard seed.
Miami gets it back together. Cheetah's coming back. They're in South Beach. Dallas not great on the road. We've seen the movie before. Miami pounded the Jets with defense. They've got enough defense to stop Dak. As I predicted, the Bills circled the wagons on Sunday. They pressured Dak, just as Miami will do. Miami has the defense to stop that attack. They certainly have the weapons. Tyreek will be back. They rested him because they could against the Jets. They bring him back full speed. This is a Dolphins victory, and I feel for Bernie's confident about it. Both teams very good against the spread, though. 14-5 combined, but give me the fence.
Yeah, I mean, let's continue the alignment here. I just feel like Miami, from what I saw as far as without Tyreek, getting him back, and then look at Dallas on what they did against Buffalo on the road. They couldn't control the run. James Cook, he's not a chain. He's not Mostert. So I feel like the two
20
of them-
touchdowns, Mostert.
I know, which is career for him, and I think it's a franchise record as well. But I just don't think they can, with those many weapons, and they're gonna have to pick their poison. You shut down the run, you got Tyreek and Waddle. It's unstoppable. Dallas on the road is, as Bajan said, is completely different than Dallas at home. I just don't see them being able to keep up with the Miami Dolphins and what they're bringing on the firepower side. Oh yeah, Fins.
I agree with you guys. Why is the line only -1.5 is the question.
That's a scary thing.
Dallas did not show an ounce of competitive balance in their last game on the road last week, and I just don't understand where Vegas comes up with these lines. This is the fishiest line out of all the lines, right?
No pun intended.
Yeah, the Miami should be favored by at
Well, yeah.
least 4, yeah. So the fact that they think it's like a toss-up game is weird. I don't know how Dallas is gonna stop Jason Taylor on the edge. Zach Thomas up the middle. He's gonna
What?
stuff the run. And Zach Thomas and Brian Cox are like the best duo of all
Yeah.
time. That
And Mark
Miami's
Duke is
got
on
the
the
defense.
outside, Clayton on the outside. We got
Miami's
him.
got the defense figured out. And then they got Marino on the other side, and they got all kinds of weapons.
It's
There's
just not
there's
possible.
no chance for Dallas. We are finally going to do a sports caviar sweep here on this one. And
Harmonious.
you guys can actually take this one to the bank. Now, it remains to be seen who's gonna actually win the Don't Be Nasty game this week,
I
but
think it's
I
pretty
have a
obvious.
feeling it's not gonna be our guru.
Moving forward, just please understand that stick with the one and the only Birn Nahsty.
Oh, yeah. And hopefully you guys listen to this pod before the holidays, and the next time that you'll hear our voices will be post-Christmas, getting ready for 2024, and we'll do some bowl previews and see what's happening in the world of sports for that next show. Thank you for listening to this show. Please continue to share our links to your friends and subscribing. Vern, you're going to give away some t-shirts, right?
Yes, top 5, the next 5 subscribers get a free T-shirt. Let's go.
Oh, virtual T-shirt
Yeah.
gun. Get it out.
Yeah, look, lock it down. Subscribe. We appreciate each and every one of you guys, but yeah, free T-shirts galore.
Yeah,
Next 5.
m-
Subscribe
message
and
Burn on
message me
Instagram.
directly.
Yeah,
The Birn
message Burn on Instagram.
BIRNIE 3.
Just give him your size and give him any information that he needs to know in order to get the shirt to you. And we hope that you
Yep.
guys have a Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Hopefully you
Merry
get to
Christmas. Happy
spend some time with your
Hanukkah.
family. Yeah.
Enjoy.
Yep. And
Love you guys.
Merry
That's all.
Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Christmas.
Harry, did you know?
To you.
Merry Christmas from the Sports Caviar crew.